There is a hum beneath all things, a current that sings even in silence. You have felt it before, in the stillness of a forest, the hush before sleep, the soft exhale of a heart at peace. This vibration is not something you need to find. It is not external. It is the substance of your being, the unseen rhythm that pulses beneath the name you carry and the roles you play. You've been taught to seek alignment like a destination, as if peace is hidden in a future version of yourself. Some enlightened silhouette, free from tension and tangled thoughts. But the ancient ones, those who carved wisdom into stone and wrapped truth in symbol, taught something far simpler and far more powerful, that the realignment you seek is not a movement forward, but a remembering inward. Vibration is not a technique. It is not a new practice to master. It is your very nature. Everything about you, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, emits a frequency. And that frequency speaks louder to the universe than your words ever could. It shapes the magnetic field around you. It draws in people, places, and patterns that reflect the tone you're already singing. The Kybalion whispers the truth gently. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This is not merely an observation of atoms. It is an invitation to presence. It is a map that tells you the way to change your world is not to rearrange the furniture of your life, but to shift the hum within. So, we begin, not by forcing ourselves into a better mood or faking smiles in the mirror, but by listening. What is your vibration right now? Not what you wish it were, not what you think it should be, but what it truly is. Are you living from contraction or expansion? From love or fear? From scarcity or surrender? There is no shame in your answer. All frequencies are valid. None are condemned. But awareness is the key that unlocks transformation. When you begin to observe your inner state without judgment, you reclaim the sacred role of witness, of initiator. You stop being the one swept away by experience and become the one who gently steers the current. You are like a tuning fork, vibrating in sympathy with your dominant thoughts and emotions. And life, this great orchestra of reflections, responds not to what you say you want, but to what you are attuned to. Desire alone cannot change your field, but frequency can. Picture your consciousness as a beam of light moving through fog. When it flickers in confusion, the path is dim. When it shines steady in clarity, the way reveals itself. Your inner frequency does not just predict your experience, it organizes it. Like a magnet beneath paper, aligning iron filings, your state of being subtly arranges the world around you. And yet, you do not have to control this. You only need to feel, to tune in, to choose the next breath with care, to recognize when your energy has shifted and gently guide it back, not with resistance, but with reverence. Try this pause now. Inhale slowly, exhale fully. Ask yourself, what does my field feel like? Don't answer with your mind. Sense it. Feel the space around your heart, the tone of your belly, the weight or lightness behind your eyes. This is where your vibration begins, not in thought, but in presence. Your power lies not in effort, but in attunement. You are not a broken chord looking to be fixed. You are a divine frequency, rediscovering its original note. And in every moment of awareness, you return to harmony. You do not need to force yourself into alignment. You only need to remember that alignment is your natural state. Beneath the static, beneath the stories, you are already in tune with the infinite. Let the remembering begin. All that exists is motion. Even the stillest stone is a dance of atoms. Even silence hums with presence. You may not always see the movement, but it is there beneath appearances, beneath form, beneath the illusion of separation. This is the foundation of Hermetic Law, and the Kybalion gives it plainly. Everything vibrates. To understand vibration is to begin decoding the living language of the universe. We've been conditioned to believe that reality is fixed, that matter is dense, and thought is fleeting. But the Hermetic path reveals the reverse, that thought is the root, and matter is the echo. Frequency precedes form. Reality is not static. It is a constantly morphing mirror of our inner resonance. You are not simply walking through life. You are broadcasting into it. This is the law. Beneath all things, the law of vibration. From the still point of mentalism, the all is mind. Vibration follows as its natural pulse. The universe thinks, and in that thought, it moves. You think, and in that movement, your life shifts. But vibration is not just a mystical idea or a poetic notion. It is a law, impersonal and precise like gravity. You may not always understand how your vibration is shaping events, but the shaping is constant. Your energy is never idle. It is always speaking, always attracting, always arranging. You've seen this in your own life, though you may not have called it vibration. The days when everything seems to flow, doors open, people smile, synchronicities abound. And the days when everything feels heavy, resistant, delayed. You may have thought this was luck, mood, or fate, but underneath it all is the frequency you are holding. There's no need to fear this. Vibration is not a moral judgment. It's not about good or bad. It's about resonance. It's about harmony. When you're aligned with a higher frequency, peace, gratitude, clarity, the universe meets you there. Not as reward, but as reflection. Imagine a radio. The signal is always there, but you only hear the music when you tune to the right station. Your vibration is the tuner. The clearer your frequency, the clearer the reception. And the clearer your reception, the more precise your manifestation. This means your task is not to control the world, but to attune your inner instrument. Life begins to reorganize when your vibration shifts. The people you meet, the thoughts you think, even the way light touches your skin, everything corresponds. The Kybalion also reminds us of the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. As within, so without. This is not merely a spiritual cliche. It is a map of vibration in motion. Your internal frequency becomes your external environment. The quality of your thoughts becomes the tone of your life. But you don't need to become obsessed with positivity. You only need to become honest. Honest about what you're broadcasting consciously or unconsciously. Awareness is the beginning of all alchemy. Let yourself be a student of energy. Listen to your body like an oracle. Feel your moods like ocean tides. Begin to notice which thoughts tighten your chest and which ones open your breath. These are signals, invitations, frequencies calling you home. And when you realize you're off key, don't panic. Don't resist. Simply pause and retune. A moment of stillness, a shift of breath, a word of gratitude. These are not small things. They are acts of vibrational recalibration. Try whispering a truth to yourself when you feel lost. I am not separate from the field. I am the field. Let that remembering settle deep. Let it alter your posture, your tone, your choices. This is not just healing, it is harmonizing. The law of vibration is constant, but how you engage with it is conscious. You can drift through life, reacting to every wave, or you can begin to send your own signal clear, calm, and sovereign. The choice is always yours. And the moment you choose, the universe listens. There is a sacred instrument within you, subtle, unseen, yet always playing. It is your vibrational field, the living aura of your being shaped not just by what you think, but how you feel, how you breathe, how you move through the world in unseen rhythm. To walk the Hermetic path is to become the master of this inner instrument, not by force, but by harmony. You do not need to silence the chaos or suppress the noise. You simply learn how to tune. Again and again, gently and with care. Your body is not separate from your spirit. It is the amplifier of it. Your breath is the bow upon your inner strings. Your thoughts are melodies. Your emotions are resonance. And like any sacred instrument, your being must be cared for, felt attuned daily, not once, not perfectly, but presently. This is the heart of alignment, not in achieving a state of perfection, but in cultivating a relationship with your own vibration, noticing when you're sharp, when you're flat, when you're in harmony with life, or discordant against it. Not judging, but listening. Not fixing, but fine-tuning. The Kybalion reminds us to change your mood or mental state, change your vibration. It sounds simple, and it is, but it is also profound. This one practice can realign entire realities. Let us ground this in daily life. Imagine you wake in anxiety. Your mind races. Your breath is shallow. Your thoughts spiral. Most people either resist this or distract from it. But the alchemist does something different. The alchemist listens, without flinching, without flailing. They ask, what vibration is this, and what frequency wants to emerge instead? Then they begin the work, not by solving the problem, but by shifting the energy. Maybe it's breath-long, slow inhales that calm the nervous system. Maybe it's music that elevates emotion. Maybe it's a mantra repeated not to convince the mind, but to tune the field. Something like, I return to resonance now. I am safe in the rhythm of life. These acts may seem small, but vibrational shifts are cumulative. A single breath can be a turning point. A single change in posture can signal to the universe, I am ready to align again. Your field does not demand perfection. It asks, only presence. It asks that you notice when you're vibrating from fear, from control, from lack, and then choose again to align with the frequency of your higher self. This is where spiritual sovereignty begins, not in control, but in coherence. Not in suppressing emotion, but in integrating it into a higher harmony. You begin to ask different questions. What does peace feel like in my body? How can I return to gratitude right now? What thought feels like truth, not fear, disguised as logic? Even your language matters. Words carry frequency. When you speak gently, you ripple gently. When you affirm your path with clarity, the universe echoes your conviction. Speak to yourself like a sacred song. Speak to others like tuning forks. Let your words lift, soften, align. You are always creating, not just through what you do, but through how you are. Through the tone you carry when you walk into a room. Through the silent beliefs you hold about life. Through the way your energy whispers louder than any voice. Try this today, before a conversation, before a decision. Pause. Ask yourself, what frequency am I bringing into this moment? If it's off, shift it. Breathe. Remember your intention. Visualize your field smoothing, rising, harmonizing. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a vibrational composer, learning to hear the music beneath the noise. And the more you harmonize within, the more the world begins to match your inner tone. People feel it. Opportunities unfold. Life begins to sing in resonance with your remembering. You are the instrument. You are the player. And you are the song. Reality is not a wall you bump into. It is a mirror reflecting back your vibration. This world, with all its forms and faces, does not speak in logic first. It speaks in frequency. It responds not to what you ask for, but to what you embody. Have you noticed this in your own life? You think of someone and they call. You decide to move on, and the very thing you longed for finally appears. This is not chance. It is resonance. Resonance is the secret language of creation. It is how energy calls to energy, how patterns attract their match. It is not linear, it is lyrical. When you shift your inner frequency, the outer world begins to rearrange itself quietly, sometimes imperceptibly at first, but always faithfully. The Kybalion teaches us vibration responds to vibration. This is not metaphysics alone, it is the soul's physics. And when we become conscious of our own tone, we become conscious co-creators. Not just hoping for change, but living as its source. This principle becomes especially alive in relationships. What you hold as true within becomes the lens through which others see you. When you believe you are unworthy, even love looks suspicious. When you stand in inner worth, even silence can feel like connection. It is not about pretending or performing. It is about presence. When your vibration is aligned with peace, with truth, with openness, you attract others who are drawn to that same resonance. Not because you chase, but because you emanate. But it is not always immediate. Vibration works across dimensions of time, feeling, and thought. And sometimes you will vibrate out of old patterns, old friendships, even old versions of yourself. This is not a failure, it is refinement. You are not losing life. You are making space for its next octave. Let's take a simple example. Imagine someone who believes deeply and unconsciously that life is hard. They may say they want abundance or peace, but their vibration hums with effort, struggle, fear. And so the universe mirrors that back, not as punishment, but as a match. Now, imagine that same person begins to soften, to release the belief, to rest more, to trust more, to feel into a reality where ease is allowed. Their outer life may not change overnight, but slowly, opportunities arrive with less tension. Conversations flow. Health improves. Why? Because they changed their signal and life responded. This is not about blaming yourself for every hardship. Life is complex, but it is about reclaiming the power to shift your tone, to become the one who sends, not only receives, the one who radiates, not just reacts. Every moment is a mirror. What are you radiating into the glass? Begin to observe. What kind of conversations are you attracting? What emotional patterns repeat? What synchronistic threads are showing up? Each of these is feedback, not of your worth, but of your wave. And with awareness, you can gently guide that wave into new harmony. If you want more love, become the frequency of love, genuinely, inwardly, consistently. If you seek clarity, vibrate as one who already knows. If you long for peace, let it ripple through your breath, your voice, your stillness. You don't need to manipulate the mirror. You only need to become what you wish to see within it. Try this. Each morning, ask yourself one question. Not what should I do, but what should I become today? Set your frequency with intention. Choose a word calm, radiant, grounded, joyful. Then spend your day tuning yourself back to that note. When you drift, return. When you forget, remember. This is vibrational alignment, not perfection, but presence. Not forcing, but flowing. Not demanding, but drawing in. The world around you is not separate. It is your echo, your reflection, your partner in the dance of becoming. You don't chase resonance, you become it. And as you do, life does not just respond, it sings. There is a sacred moment when you no longer seek the light as something outside of you, but recognize that you are the source. It is subtle at first, a gentle inner shift, a breath that lands deeper, a thought that feels truer. Then suddenly the old striving falls away, and you stand still, aware, radiant. This is what it means to live as vibrational alignment. Not to try and become something more, but to remember what you already are. The Kybalion tells us, he who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power, not power over others, but the sacred sovereignty of self-mastery. The kind that does not react to the storm, but becomes the stillness at its center. The kind that walks through the world not seeking approval, but offering frequency. You have this scepter. You've always had it. But like all true magic, it waits patiently for your remembrance. To become the frequency of the divine is not to float above life, it is to walk within it awake. It is to move through mundane moments with majesty. It is to know that even when you are doing the laundry, preparing a meal, answering emails, your energy speaks louder than your actions. And when that energy is aligned, everything becomes holy. You begin to move not from effort, but from essence. Not from what you should do, but from what you are resonating as. You let go of roles and results. You tune to truth. Imagine yourself as a sun. You do not chase warmth, you generate it. You do not seek attention, you shine. Others may orbit near or far, but your job is not to hold them. Your only task is to remain lit from within. This is not a call to isolation, but to integration. To live as the divine frequency is to bring love to the places you once abandoned. To hold presence even when no one sees. To embody truth even when it trembles in your voice. It means choosing peace, not just when things go well, but especially when they don't. It means speaking clarity even when surrounded by noise. It means becoming the healing you used to pray for. And this is not done once, but moment by moment, day by day. You recalibrate, you refine, you return. When fear arises, you don't fight it, you soften into presence. When chaos spins around you, you don't escape, you anchor deeper. When doubt whispers, you tune into a higher tone. Living this way is a kind of grace. You no longer need to convince the universe of your desires. You simply become the version of yourself who already lives in their fulfillment. You stop asking, when will it come? And begin asking, how can I embody it now? You stop chasing signs and start becoming the signal. Even your stillness becomes an act of alignment. Even your silence becomes a frequency of invitation. And slowly, without fanfare, the world around you shifts. People meet you with more presence. Life responds with more precision. Synchronicities multiply, not because you force them, but because you match their rhythm. You begin to see the unseen layers of reality. You feel the code behind conversations. You sense the meaning within the mundane. You no longer live on the surface, you live in the song beneath the surface. This is vibrational mastery. This is living as the divine field, not apart from the world, but woven through it. You do not need to prove your power. You only need to stand in it quietly, gently, fully. And when you forget, because you will, you do not shame yourself. You simply return to the breath, to the tone, to the truth. Because now you know the way. And the way is not out there. It is within. It is vibration. It is you. You were never meant to chase alignment. You were meant to remember it. Beneath every story, every struggle, every moment of doubt, your vibration has been speaking quietly, shaping gently, guiding patiently, waiting for your awareness to return. The Kybalion does not offer escape. It offers embodiment. It reminds you that you are not here to fix the world from the outside, but to harmonize it from within. That every breath, every thought, every whisper of emotion is a note in the great symphony of creation. So, now, ask yourself, What frequency am I carrying into tomorrow? What tone will I choose when no one else is watching? What will I become, not in reaction, but in remembrance? Let this be your quiet revolution. No striving, no forcing. Just the steady, sacred practice of tuning your field to truth. If these words found resonance in you, let them ripple outward. Share them. Sit with them. And if you feel called, subscribe for more reflections on spiritual alchemy and ancient wisdom made alive. You are not separate from the divine. You are its vibration in motion. Let your life become the sound of remembering,